Danger man for the Essex Eagles, highlighted in red, Danish Canaria. And for the Surrey Lions, well, it was Andrew Simon. So here are highlights of the Surrey innings.
Chris Wright opens the bowling, and Rory Hamilton-Brown is on strike. Off the cue end of the bat, and just chipped over square for 4. Great start for Surrey.
Well, there's certainly no hanging around and having a look. It's wide. Rory Hamilton-Brown throws the bat at it. Gets Surrey off to the best possible start.
Deserved a clattering, though, that delivery. Wide outside off stump, at gentlish pace. Rory Hamilton-Brown almost checked his stroke. Better ball from Wright. Easy single. Very attacking opening partnership. There's Rory Hamilton-Brown, the captain for Surrey, of course. Just doesn't spare the horses at all. And Stephen Davis in the England Lions squad, knocking on the door of one-day internationals and 2020. Moved from Worcester, of course, to Surrey at the start of this summer.
Yeah, he's been sparkling form as well with the bat. He's opened in all one-day cricket. Surrey off to some really good starts. Just above 24, but that strike rate, 150.
Only number 7 of those to go.
Tells you that he likes to get on with it.
Good stuff now from Wright. First ball was a bit of a loosener, which you really can't allow for in 2020 cricket. You've got to be on the spot first ball, but he has been since that boundary off the first delivery. Davis away now. Just clipped away to square leg. No Napier, no Tenduscarter, both with serious injuries for Essex. Hamilton-Brown gets an easy single again to mid-off. 7 from the first over. Surrey just getting into gear. Scott Styris, one of Essex's overseas players, will open the bowling from the river end. Very, very useful one-day performer, Scott Styris. New Zealander, of course. He lost his run then. Most peculiar run-up.
Middle, 5 to come.
A bit of a stutter and stammer, and then a bit of an amble. It looked like Ian Austin running in. Remember him?
Do remember him, Walt. Give you a run for your money, wouldn't he?
What, size-wise? Or pace-wise? Or running in-wise, or what?
I'll leave that to you.
Well run in the end.
Would have been tight. Would have been very, very tight.
Not much pace from Styris. There'll be a run out on here. Oh, direct hit and gone. I think the umpire will just have to check, because there was a flurry of hands and Styris probably obscured the view. But I think Hamilton Brown has gone here.
Yeah, he's gone all right. It was a terrible run, really. Pushed the ball very, very firmly straight at Ravi Bopara and took off. The ball bounced beautifully up into Bopara's hands. All he had to do was gather it cleanly, set his sights. Hamilton, long way short. There's the confirmation of it. Surrey 9 for 1.
As if we needed any confirmation, because Rory Hamilton-Brown was almost over the boundary rope by the time the third umpire had made his decision. No question of him being out of his ground. It was just whether the ball had hit the stumps, and it wasn't Styris' hands that had knocked the bails off. But a dead-eye throw from Ravi Bopara. Had time to steady himself, take aim and fire. In actual fact, Styris nearly made a complete hash of that, because if he got a hand on it, might have deflected it away from the stumps. So Bopara with the direct hit gets rid of Rory Hamilton-Brown for 7, and Jason Roy is at the crease but at the non-striker's end.
Two balls remain. Just a fraction towards you.
Hamilton Brown hits it really firmly. Doesn't really set off in the beginning either. Sort of ambled to begin with and then decided to keep going. Absolutely no contest.
It was a poor run. Roy on strike for the first time. Little wristy flick to get him off the mark.
One not out, 57 deliveries. Jason Roy.
Yeah, it's one thing getting 100, isn't it, early in your career, but to get it in 57 balls, something special there. Oh, gone again, it could be out. Oh dear, oh dear. This is dreadful running from Surrey in the first 2 overs. Dreadful. They've got away with it this time. 12 for 1.
Well, it's almost a carbon copy, mirror image. This time a left-hander on strike. Davies pushes the ball again very, very firmly in a cover. And the only difference this time was that the throw from Mickleborough was a bad one.
Well, Roy was dead right. I mean, he didn't want to go. He hesitated. I don't know what Stephen Davis was thinking of. Mickleborough be kicking himself because it was a poor throw. He just quit on it a little bit, really.
Not you again, was it?
Instead of letting it go at Foster. Start of the third over. That's a better call. Better in that it was louder and quicker and
Just right.
And it was right, yeah. It was the 2-letter word. Slower ball. Well waited for by Davis. He got it down to third man.
It's been a good start, isn't it? Danish Canaria there, danger man for Essex. Mark Rambrakash back in the side after a 2-game break. He's feeling the fatigue of these games, which are coming thick and fast. He is 40 years old now, you know.
He didn't stop him playing football in the warm-up, did it? With this slightly tight hamstring.
Ramps play football in any state. Loves the game.
You're wide. Yeah. Made a feature of these evening games here at County Ground Chelmsford. Majority of their games at home are 7 o'clock, 7:10 starts under lights. And they really do pack the crowds in. It is one of the success stories here at Chelmsford in terms of attendance. Neatly played by Roy, quick on his feet, giving himself room to hit through the offside. ended up flicking it down to backward square for 4.
Well, he's a really confident lad. Why wouldn't you be? 157 balls. Graham Thorpe has been taking special care and attention of him, the second team. He's been bashing the ball all over the place of late. It's terrific that he's been able to get in the side and make an impact straight away. Makes things so much easier for you. You can come in and do something special early on.
You know a bit more about him though, Butch. He was around last year, wasn't he, in at the county? I mean, is he a hitter or is he a proper batter?
Oh, he's a proper player, all right. Just happens to strike it unbelievably well as well.
Good combination. Oh yes, see what you mean. They just whipped that away for 4. Nobody moved. Perfect.
Actually he made a century of 30 balls in a club game a week and a half ago. Really is seeing the ball big at the moment.
Foster up to the stumps. Roy looks not in the least perturbed about that.
Oh, well, righty, nice right out.
Down the ground, but no run. It's 22 for 1. Slower ball again from Styris. He seems to trade solely in those, but again, well waited for by Davis, and he's found the gap between extra and mid-off.
Beautiful piece of timing, this by Stephen Davis. Just watch the top hand here. His right hand extends right the way through. Terrific timing and placement.
Oh, trouble here.
Seem to be hell-bent on running every time they hit the ball at the moment. Again, had the throw been better from Ravi Bapara, then all the form in the world wouldn't have helped Jason Roy.
Not through the gap. Cut off. But a safe single this time. Adjustment in the field. Given himself room and clattered it square through point for 4.
What a strike this is. Hit with ferocious power. Just giving himself a little bit of room. Scott Styris obliging with a touch more width. Whistled away in front of point.
So he gets 100 off 57 balls in the last game, and we've seen him for half a dozen balls today. And you can tell at first glance, which it is for me, that the boy has got an enormous amount of talent. He's one to watch. Just 19 years of age. Goodness me, he looks good.
Well, he made his first team bow for Surrey back in 2008 when a certain Alan Butcher was coach of Surrey. It was a little too soon for him then. As I said, Graham Thorpe has taken a special interest in him, taking care of the second team. Surrey 33 for 1.
Has gone for 6.
right. David Masters, good line, good length, 6.
Well, it is naggingly accurate, that, isn't it? Good line, good length. Would have hit the top of off. Instead, it's hit the marquee.
Great work, Ravi.
Started communicating now, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, that's 4. Good improvisation from Davis. Fine leggies up, and he took the gamble to scutter across his stumps and flick it down to fine leg.
Well, once again, David Masters was bang on target. Nothing really wrong with the delivery. Just a terrific piece of improvisation from Davis.
Well, it's an interesting point, Mark, really, isn't it? If the batsmen know that he's, as I've said, naggingly accurate, they know what they're going to get. They're going to get a bit of length early on, so they can then improvise accordingly. Wide of leg stump this time. Masters reverts to Yorker mode, and it worked.
Usually opens the bowling. David Masters takes the new ball. James Foster standing up to the stumps. He's proven himself to be very, very handy performer. Short game.
Long single down to long off.
Excellent, Hodgie.
Lester Cook down there. See him opening the batting in an hour or so.
It's like a scene from yesteryear, isn't it? All the spectators on the grass.
Yeah, it's really good, really good. Another slower ball, inside edge. Canaria chasing. He's not the best. Oh, he's done it. More by accident than design, I think.
Well done, boy.
Well, I lost a few quid there. I didn't think Danish Canaria was going to get there, but he does. Managed to haul it back in. Surrey get through for 3. Everything Jason Roy does at the moment seems to come off, even when it's a little bit streaky.
Right on from the river end now. So change of ends for him.
Which side you going, Chief? Yeah. No, it's going to come down to you.
Some discussion between Captain Foster and the bowler Chris Wright. To be honest, they haven't bowled particularly badly. It's just been some terrific striking by Roy and Davis. Roy's strike rate is 200. Davies is snail's pace in comparison, just under 130 runs per 100 balls.
It's a good call from Roy. Davis wasn't sure there was a single there, but Roy was quick and early with his call. Quick with his running, early with his call.
English boy.
Surrey have got this Chelmsford crowd quiet at the moment.
The intention was there, wasn't it? I think if he connects with one of those, it's over the pavilion into the river.
He didn't hold anything back, did he?
Wondering why he missed it, I think. Good bowling. Just 3 from 4 balls in the 6th and final power play over.
It'll be long before we see Canaria introduced, perhaps as soon as the power play is over. And get some more fielders out on the boundaries.
Slower ball again. We've seen virtually all slower balls, so I suppose it's better to say these are normal deliveries, and the 84 and 86 are the quicker balls. Oh, full toss and over square leg for 6. It's a good finish, the power play. 56 for 1 then from 6 overs, nudging 9.5 and over. And it's been Davis and Roy who have propelled Surrey to 56 for 1. Hamilton Brown got the innings off to a flyer with a 4 first ball, then ran himself out basically with an appalling piece of calling and running. Then Jason Roy has come in, very much the man of the moment for Surrey, with 100 at the age of 19 in the last game of 2020, and he started just as he left off the other day. He's 19 from 11. Davis 29 from 20. There's been 2 sixes and 6 fours in the first 6 overs. That's the last of the 6s. Flat and hard into the crowd.
Ravi Bopara now being brought into the attack to bowl his medium paces off a very, very short run-up. Well, that's flat and that's 6. Terrific strike. Welcome to the crease, Ravi. Cop that.
Couldn't see where that one went because Nasser's in the way, standing on the gantry here. Evaded mid-wicket.
Yes, Bravo. No, stay down now. Come on, Vicky.
Matt Walker out there at mid-wicket. Bopara just has a very short run-up, stuttering run-up. It's no more than a spinner's run-up, really. I started it last year, and I thought then that he might just put a bit too much strain on his body. But he says he's quite happy with it. 76 up towards 80 miles an hour with virtually no run-up.
Just one, Dan. Up, Danny.
Knocked Danish in a key spot there. And I think he's comfortably the poorest fielder on the side, the team.
Well, he makes up for it in other ways, doesn't he? Wholehearted.
Down, Rav. Ball in.
Runs off every ball in that over, 11 of them. It's 67 for 1. So Canaria, his first ball of his spell. Ooh, attacking stuff from Roy, confident boy.
Well, he won't have seen a great deal of, he probably won't have faced Danish Canaria before. That didn't bother him too much. Screaming down the pitch, gets to the pitch a bit and bangs it at mid-on. Really is in top form. The fearlessness of youth.
That was a gift. Don't know what Canary was trying to do there. Maybe he thought that Davis was coming down the track. He was trying to get him stumped with a quick one down the leg side. Davis too smart.
Just had to pick it up over the short fine leg. Very, very small boundary there in that corner. Davies rattles on to 35.
Down the ground, won't be four this time, just a chip.
Strangely quiet out there, the Essex Eagles. A little bit of chirping from Foster. Not much from anybody else out there in the field.
You're right, there's not much buzz, is there? The crowd aren't buzzing either. Oh, stumped. Well, impetuosity got the better of him. Roy has gone for 29 from 17. It's a brief glimpse of what is to come from this lad. Fine little innings, but he's been undone by leg spin and the wily Canaria.
Well, that should liven them all up a little bit. Once again, Roy comes flying down the pitch. Canaria's seen that once or twice before. James Foster, who is one of the best in the business, standing up to the stumps, makes no mistake. So Jason Roy gone for 29 from 17. Surrey 73 for 2.
Straight down the ground. Has he hit it hard enough? He has. Certainly has. Short boundary straight. Walker couldn't get there.
Obviously the plan from Masters and from Essex is to get the ball full. Just overcooked it this time. Davies once again timing the ball beautifully. Walker's efforts were in vain.
Didn't try and hit the ball too hard, just timed it perfectly.
Really has been a terrific signing for Surrey. He's actually opening the batting now in four-day cricket, Steve Davis. Struggled to find an opening partner for young Aaron Harranath in the longer form of the game, so Steve Davis is now keeping wicket and opening, but he'll be off to play for the England Lions, as will Ravi Bopara. Which, Paul, I'm a little bit bemused by. Got plenty of players already missing from the Friends Provident T20 competition.
Not happy about this.
Oh, and then now they're taking away 14 more of the better players in England to go and play in a... Oh, he swung that away beautifully.
Well, the bails are off here. Bails are off. Who's knocked them off? Foster must have been.
It's just so easy, isn't it, for Davies at the moment? Again, no, nothing violent about the swing. Just good footwork, good timing. Brings him another boundary.
Oh, full-length dive. Just couldn't quite pull it off. Matt Walker bowled from 24 yards, hit for 4, and Davis goes to his 50.
Terrific diving effort from Matt Walker.
Over extra this time. A little bit of spin away from long off, running towards the ball. 2 more for Davis.
Really has played beautifully. 52 from 31 deliveries. Strike rate right up there, almost 170.
Big out to mid-wicket. Walker trying to get round, couldn't do. Didn't quite middle that.
Well, he's a ball magnet today, Matt Walker. 2 dives in vain. Another one tantalisingly out of reach.
Carved up and over. That's going to be another boundary. Essex are under pressure, and just listen to the appreciation in the crowd, Hussein.
Silence. Bit shell-shocked, to be honest, the Essex fans. 63 from 35, Davis. Everyone is expecting the likes of Simons to fire. He's not even got in yet, and the run rate's 10 and over. He looks a good player, this lad. Good move from Worcestershire to the oval. Left arm spinner from the left arm spinner's end. Nick Cook, the umpire at that end. Young Tim Phillips comes on. Leg side targeted from Davis here. Shorter hit with the spin.
Well, that's where he's gone. It's Walker who's after it again. What a committed effort.
You love watching him fly through the air, don't you?
That's 3 times. Brilliant.
It was always beating him. Great effort in the end, but the ball was always winning.
Ramprakash was aiming something violent into the flats, but he's got enough on it to get it down the hill for 4. And again, the crowd are quiet. They're usually such big supporters. Such an atmosphere when they get behind their team, but deathly quiet. They're not in the game.
Well, it's 200 minimum. Essex knew that. I think they have put all their eggs in the we can chase down whatever you get basket, but under pressure chasing, you never know.
Bit of a negative ploy.
Well, they keep going back to that game that they played against Glamorgan. Glamorgan just chased down 190 odd with 3.5 overs or 2.5 overs to spare. So they feel it will skid on and they can chase anything.
Just because you do something badly in one game, does that mean that dictates your tactics for the remainder? I mean, they might chase whatever Surrey set now. Should that so strongly influence your decision?
No, but it's just their game plan. I guess that if you speak to Paul Grayson at the moment, he'd want them to bowl a little bit better than they have done. They haven't got their variations quite right. They've bowled a lot of length deliveries. But all credit to Davies, he's played brilliantly. Must be in the back of Ramprakash's mind. Simons sitting there with his pads on.
I was just thinking exactly that, just watching his movements around the crease. Had a little bit of time off. Even a player as experienced and talented with the record that he has, Mark Ramprakash, I'll be just feeling, well, maybe this is Andrew Simons' time. He's got hold of that, and he's found the gap. Raced into the marquee. It's 124 for 2. Beautiful shot down the ground. Another sprawling effort from the Essex fielders. Chris Wright on this occasion. Pull your strides up, young man.
Been one of those evenings for Essex. Just wide on every occasion, really. Tries to get there in vain.
Oh, he's got that one. Into the crowd. That'll give him something to cheer.
.82 now, Davis. Just hitting with the spin. He doesn't overhit. Look at this. Just a controlled jab of the arms. Watch his head. Beautiful.
Up and over. That'll be 4. They just cannot control Davis at the moment.
That's just a bad ball. Ravi Bopara knows that. Whatever form of the game, short and wide with third man up, cover point inside the circle. Davis will hit you there all day. Up and over. Thank you very much.
Ball, ball, ball.
Just to bring you slightly up to speed with some of the other games, a couple of the England boys have been released from the one-day international squad and play for their counties. Ryan Sidebottom's been playing for Nottinghamshire, not for 41 from his 4 overs. Ian Bell made 2 playing for Warwickshire. But another bit of news, Simon Jones is playing for Hampshire. Great to see him back playing. Heaved away by Ramprakash, and he's found the fence.
Yeah, I think Ramprakash has made it up his mind now. Everything must go. Simple as that. Targeting the short boundary, slower ball from Bopara, and Ramprakash waits just about long enough. Out to the back of the hand from Bopara.
Oh, he's nailed that. What a shot that is from Ramprakash. He's on the move now.
Biggest boundary on the ground, and it got there in a hurry. It's the problem with moving everyone out on the ring as well. It doesn't narrow the angle, and Ramprakash just has to get past that man at extra cover. Timing and strength.
That's high. Who wants that? Alistair Cook, I think, is the man underneath it. It's gone down. Groans around the county ground.
Good thinking from Cook. Keep Simon sitting on the bench.
Oh, it's a sitter. Just got lower and lower. Oh, beautifully helped round, but he's found the man. Masters does well.
Well, go back in Cook's direction as well. Ramprakash likes to go over extra, likes to go straight. Any spin will take it towards Cook.
It's down to long on.
That was a run googly from Danesh. Mark Ramprakash, a fine player, a spin will pick Danesh Canaria, pick it out of his hand.
Targeting the short boundary, it's gone a long way up. Has he got enough? Good catch, well judged. It's Grant Flower using all of his experience to take a catch in front of a delighted section of the crowd. Now they've got something to cheer about. It's the end of Steve Davis.
Finally a cheer. Great innings from Davis coming to an end. 89 from 50. And watch the way Flower sets himself on the boundary. He's looking into the setting sun, and he just sets himself, knows where the boundary is, and takes a really good catch.
Crashed through. He's absolutely nailed that. That has flown through backward point.
Well, that was stylish, wasn't it? Down on one knee. Ramprakash at his best. Look at that.
Seen that shot once or twice now. So I suppose when he was a youngster, that was his way, wasn't it?
I said to you at Taunton, really, I played England schools with Mark from under 11s upwards, and this is how he used to bat. Before any theory or anything went into his head, he used to just pick up his bat. I remember him playing in a under-25 game for Middlesex, and he got a double 100 in 40 overs. He was just a hitter of the ball.
Whipped away.
But a stylish hitter. Doesn't overhit. Just a good player. I mean, even now, runs every time he bats.
Were you a hitter in under 25?
That's why we were going down that road, is it? Led me into that one, didn't you?
Bowled from way back and got him. Bowled from about 24 yards, that. And Ramprakash looking to hit over extra cover, ended up having a bit of an ungainly heave, but a pretty good innings from Mark Ramprakash. 35 from 29.
These are important wickets. Yeah, bowled way back, and hence changed the trajectory, the flight. Ramprakash there too early through the shot, and Canaria continues to take wickets. He's got 3. Ramprakash has gone for 35 in 29. It's 167 for 4.
he got hold of that. Plenty of bottom hand. Yeah, it's sailing into the stand.
Over, Jen.
6 off the final ball of the over. 10 from that over. 174 for 4. 2 overs left.
There's the experience. Last ball of the over. You need a boundary. Look at that short arm shovel, really. So much power. He's such a strong lad. Top tier.
Again, up as full as he can. It's only a single. This is a great 19th over so far. 2 balls left. He's only gone 3. Simons will be looking for 2 maximums, though. Flicked away behind square 4. All he had to do was get a bit of bat on it.
And that's the problem with the Yorker. If you get it in, it's impossible to hit. If you don't, and you get it slightly wrong, someone like Simons will just tuck you away. Fine legs up, no chance.
Bowled him straight. Really well bowled. It was an attempted Yorker, may have been just slightly short of Yorker length, but it's done the trick. Simons has gone in spectacular fashion. 2 stumps out of the ground.
Big, big wicket. There they are, knocked back. And the danger man has gone. Can't do any damage now in this last over. Straight. Simons not really going back in his crease the modern way. He's gone across his crease. And he knows that he's missed out.
Leg stump gone this time. Top over. Top 3 balls. At any rate, from right.
Yeah, not good batting, really. Too much movement across the crease. Further you move across the crease, the harder it is to hit the ball. Up and down the crease, there you go, lots of room. Nothing shot, really. Nothing to gain for Batty. He was just swinging in the last over. But Essex well back into this game. Good bowling from Canaria, then Masters. Now right, Batty's gone for a duck. 182 for 6.
Bowled a full toss and got away with it again. Well, any ball's a good ball if you get away with it.
Batty was done for pace a little bit. It was right in the slot. It was a length delivery. And he's moving leg side. And finally, the Essex crowd are awake in these last few overs.
See the Surrey fan in the foreground there?
Didn't move.
He didn't move, did he?
They're one-eyed, these Surrey fans.
He'll be off to the public bar, will he, in the interval, just have a chat with the locals. Slower ball, helped away onto the leg side. There'll be 2 here, but that's all. So just 3 runs off first 5 balls of this final over. 2 wickets as well. It's been a really good last couple of overs. So last ball of the innings then. Walters on strike. Well bowled. In to the base of leg stump. They're coming back for 2. They've got in each other's way. More confusion. Foster quickly removes the bails and 2 stumps just for confirmation, and the third umpire will have a look at this to see if a wicket has gone down and a run has been saved.
More confusion sums it up, really. Batsmen getting in each other's way. Cook had to go at the wicketkeeper's end. The dive, does the bat bounce up? No, it stays down. I think he's safe. Runs the long way round, gets the dive in. I'm going for just in.
So am I. Good dive from Walters to secure that run and prevent himself being run out. Not out, says the third umpire. So Surrey finished their 20 overs with 187 for 6. Great start from Davis, 89 from 50 balls after Hamilton Brown ran himself out. Roy showed glimpses of what he could be in the future, 29 from 17. Ramprakash, the old master, 35, 187 for 6 in 20.
Essex had to fight their way back in the game. 2 wickets for Wright, 3 wickets for Canaria. Expensive Masters, expensive Bopara, expensive Phillips, but it is a good pitch and a small ground, not a ground for bowlers.
So Essex, having put Surrey in, will have to chase 188 to win from their 20 overs at about 9.5 runs per over.
Andre Nell did play for Essex. He now plays for Surrey with the new ball. 2 tall opening bowlers, Tremlett and Nell. Did you see Mark Ramprakash marking his run up? Are they going to hit him with Ramprakash?
Good wind up, wasn't it? Ramprakash came out, took the ball off the umpire and then marked a run up out. There we are, that's it, look, there we go. Ball in hand. Can't conceal it though, can he? The giveaway grin.
What a shot that is. Beautifully on the high-class player. Quick outfield, will it get there in the corner? Longest boundary in that direction.
Quality stroke though, great way to get off the mark. Ravi Bopara, not a half volley by any stretch of the imagination, hit on the up, didn't try and hit it too hard, relying on timing and placement and settling for 3. Just a sign though of what could be to come from Essex batsmen, and a warning shot to Surrey bowlers. This is a good pitch.
You can't go from deep square to deep square. You can't go from deep square to deep square.
Wow, it's a good stop, but it's not good from Andre now. Front foot, no ball, free hit.
Inexcusable from the bowler. Can't do it in one-day cricket. He shouldn't do it in any cricket, really. That'll get Nell ticking, and he ticks at the slightest of things. Ooh, I tell you, he's been harshly done by, I think.
Harsh? That's just not a no ball.
I think that was edged, you know, off the free hit. Bottom edge, or bottom of the bat, anyway.
Well, the crowd were crying for a wide. It would have been a wide. The only problem is, I think Bopara got the bottom of the bat on it through to Davis. Justice done in the end, really. It was not a no ball to start with. It's just cost Surrey a couple of runs. Ramprakash does well.
Does he ever do well? That is good moving, whether you're 20 or 40, and Ramprakash is 40. It's a high full toss from Nell, and timed well by Bopara.
Good end to the over from now. 7 for none, Essex. If you're wondering why Essex decided to have a little bowl first, it's because of a game they played here earlier in the season against Glamorgan, and they felt it just skidded on under lights, and the lights on here, an evening game, and there is that scorecard. Essex made 191, similar score to this evening, 187, and Glamorgan chased them down with 2.2 overs to spare. And the ball just skidded on beautifully. So that's what they're hoping.
Good fielding from Schofield at mid-wicket. I think it's a risky philosophy, though. I really do. I mean, you tell me about batting under the lights and having to chase anyway. You know, if you get a big score, and 187 is a big score in 2020, doesn't allow you much margin for error chasing.
We shall see. The next hour or so will tell us if the strategy was right. Tremlett's bowl well for them in this competition. He's their leading wicket taker, so there's some useful performers. Simons won't be a mug in this sort of game. He's got a lot of experience.
5 for in his last game as well. 5 for in a 4-over spell. I think he might only have bowled 3 overs.
He's doing it well at the moment, Tremlett. He's really mixing up his pace. He's almost bowling like a Stuart Broad over. Don't have to be big changes, but there you see 86, 89, 78, 79. Just keeps the batsman guessing.
Yeah, Tremlett, 28 years of age now. He's what I consider a lost talent. I think he's got all the attributes, or had all the attributes, to be a quality international bowler. Height, pace, bounce. Should I say all the physical attributes? Maybe the mental attributes weren't there.
Well, I might go the other way. He might be someone with the fires just burning within. He doesn't need all the showmanship of some cricketers. I'd say the other way. Maybe the injuries have caused him not to progress.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Nas. I'm not saying you've got to rant and rave and shout. I'm just saying that whether he can just actually come to terms with what he had to do as a bowler. He started with a maiden here, which is a pretty fine performance. You don't get many of those in 2020 cricket. That's 4 through mid-wicket. Bit of a heave from Cook, but effective. And I know what your complaint's going to be. It's got something to do with clothing.
Yeah, not bad with 13 fielders, or however many cricketers there are out there. The umpires have got the same kit on. Can't pick them out from the fielders. Change your kit. Get a white coat on, Nick Cook.
Well, then he couldn't see the ball. You batters would be complaining.
Good comeback from now.
Good point, though. I mean, you could hit it to square leg, couldn't you? And say no, basically, and the umpire then steps over it. Nick Cook there, barely distinguishable from the 2 Surrey fielders either side of him.
Could you imagine asking Nick Cook to change his coat right now?
Have you got a yellow one in the car?
Full toss, does he get it through? Yes, he does.
They bowled a perfect Yorker the ball before, and this one is just 6 inches out, no more. Full toss, thumped through between mid-wicket and mid-on.
Boundaries seem to be getting a little bit more noise than in the Surrey innings. Wasn't quite timed by Alistair Cook. The placement was the key. The difference between Bopara and Cook has been that Cook has found the gaps. And that's good.
Yeah, it's good running. Ramprakash back on the edge of the circle. He's not going to be able to save one there if the batsmen make up their mind to go quickly. Good communication between Bopara and Cook, which we didn't see, between Hamilton, Brown and Davis. And then Davis and Roy, they're running early on. The Surrey batsman was poor, to say the least.
Again, Bopara missed out. Cook's got a better strike rate in 2020 this season than Bopara. Bopara's done okay, started slowly. A couple of good knocks recently. You can see this little innings so far, he's just found the fielders. He hasn't put away the bad ball. Best of 42. Chopped away to the man in the deep. Should just be one. Is one. First good over for Essex. 18 for none. Crowds have gone down a little bit this season, but not here. That's why it's important that Essex and Surrey have got a poor record against Essex. Not a rivalry there, but it's important Essex carry on with this run. They lose Bopara and Cook next week because of Lions duty. Crosses stumps up in the air. Batty sets himself, takes the catch.
That's the end of Cook. A spiralling catch to Batty at mid-wicket. Bit of extra bounce from Tremlett, who at 6'8" is going to get that extra bounce. Bowl straight, bowl well. Hasn't conceded a run in 8 balls and has just taken his first wicket, courtesy of a comfortable catch from Batty. It's a great start from Tremlett, and it's not the start that Essex would have wanted, losing Alistair Cook for 11. They're 18 for 1.
2 overs, 2 maidens.
Again, just a change of pace there.
Change of bowling, Lindley's on.
Up in the air, does he get it over mid-off? Yes, he does. Now tries to get back, can't stop it.
Well, nothing really wrong with the first delivery that Lindley's bowled, apart from the fact it was good length and it's allowed Bopara to hit it over the top. Still in the power play, of course. 6 overs of power play, and obviously just 2 overs left with the fielding restrictions as they are.
Lindley might be someone that Essex target after Tremlett bowling so well, and now experience, they might go after Lindley. That's sweet as well, but then again, just a single. Bopara finding the fielder on that occasion.
Good shot though, wasn't it? Lovely wristy shot. Some bright spark, Nasser will be saying that you get 1 for the shot, 1 for the run, but then you get points for artistic impression. The way you play the stroke.
Get that!
Not with me.
You've lost me.
Oh, come on.
So he gets 1.
So you get 1, but the way you've played the stroke, the way you've executed it, give you 2 marks for class and artistic impression. So you get 3. And if it's a duff shot, missed time,
they take the
they
runs
take them off. Yeah.
That would be a nightmare for me. Long way across, but ball pitching outside the leg stump. Ramprakash would get a few then for style.
Good game this. 187 Surrey. Essex in pursuit and everybody on their toes. Surrey know they've posted a good score. They know that this is a good pitch and a small ground, quick outfield, so they're not sure of anything. They've got to try really hard.
It's just where Bopara has got to improve his cricket. He could have hit that anywhere, really. A low full toss. Best players know where the fielders are. And he found out a man in the deep. There's only 2 out there.
Trying to lash it, hasn't he? Really, the low full toss, it can be a difficult ball to hit at times.
Up in the air, Ramprakash sets himself at mid-off. Walker's already walking off. He's gone. Another wicket goes.
Disappointed with himself here, Matt Walker, because that ball was in the slot to hit. He's got it on the bottom edge of the bat, I think. Bottom outside edge. Skied it to Ramprakash, who takes a comfortable catch. Took an age to come down, but he was never dropping that. Walker's gone for 1 from 4 balls. Essex in a spot of bother at 28 for 2.
Hit high, hit towards the longer boundary. Man tries to get round. Can't. Has it gone all the way? Essex crowd cheer. Nick Cook agrees with them.
That's the first ball that Batty's just tossed up. He got the treatment. Styris is watching and waiting.
You feel Bopara wants to join in now. You've seen Styris take the 6. You feel Bopara wants to use his feet. He's a good player of spin. Goes for the reverse slap. Now, what did that come off? Cook's looking at Batty as if to say, well, bit of glove, he says to him. Batty doesn't agree.
Let's have another look. I think it's pretty fair from Nick Cook to say that there was a bit of glove there.
Let's have a look from side on. Yeah, good decision, Nick Cook.
I don't think he hit the pad at all, actually.
Oh, yes, okay.
14 singles now to Bopara. Tucked away. So good over after the 6. It's 65 for 2.
Well, the Essex team have work to do. Here's Lindley.
Get it.
Down the ground, but not with any power. Things have just not clicked for Ravi Bopara.
Yeah, his strike rate's right down, 86.7. There's Matt Walker, giving those long legs are going over.
I hope he doesn't leap off the balcony. He was leaping around the outfield today. Well, that's gone high and long. See you later. That's into Bumble's garden territory.
What a great strike that is. Ravi Bopara might be struggling to hit the ball cleanly. Scott Styris isn't. Beautiful full swing of the bat. That has gone many a mile.
Barry, if you can hear me, you better put a minute on to
Long, long way back. That is a new ball. Not even David Lloyd leaping over garden fences could get that one back. So Jeff Evans has gone to the spare ball box. Lobbed Lindley another one. Have a go with that. 2 maximums for Scott Styris now. 30 off 21 deliveries.
Lindley had been doing a great job until then. 3 balls left of his spell.
Get it!
Seemed to have hit the field a lot. Played some nice shots, but quite managed to pierce the field.
Yeah, that's been Ravi Bopara's problem, hasn't it? Hitting the ball sweetly. When he has timed it well, it's gone straight to a fielder, picking up singles. And then as he's got a little bit more agitated about it, he's making worse swings of the bat. Struggling to time it even more. So he needs to do something here. Needs to make a move. He's got to stay calm, though.
You were watching him play a sweep shot, which he didn't really time. You don't really watching the ball closely?
Yeah, I think he's just lifting his head at the point of impact. Obviously, if you're not looking at the ball, it makes it difficult to hit it very well.
They'll scamper through for a single, and that ends Lindley's spell. Good spell. 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 28. Got taken downtown by Scott Styris for a huge 6 in that final over. 75 for 2. Schofield into the attack now as well. An interesting call from Rory Hamilton-Brown to remove Tremlett from the attack after 2 very good overs, but by doing so he's got 2 more to come, and a slip in place. Bopara's gone high, he hasn't got enough, it's gone a long way up. Walters won't drop that. Bopara's innings ends, it never really got going.
Well, 1 ball for Chris Schofield is all that it's taken him to get into this game. Ravi Bopara had to do something. Again, went for the big heave, aiming it at the longest part of this ground here at Chelmsford. Stuart Walters, the running man, does the rest.
27 off 33 for Bopara, 75 for 3. Essex still needing 113. Styris has gone over the 10 into the ladies' lose.
Well, it doesn't matter where you got your fielders when the ball goes out of the park. And that brings up a very, very well played half-century from Scott Styris. If Essex are going to get anywhere near this, he's going to have to see them all the way home. Terrific strike. Gets deep in his crease there, perhaps expecting Nell to go for the Yorker. She did. Gave himself the room and the leverage to belt it out of the park.
Bit of a discussion happening now at the end of Andre Nell's mark between him and Andrew Simons. They're going to change the ball, so it gives 2 very experienced cricketers the chance just to mull things over. What do you reckon here? He was going for the Yorker. He missed his target by just enough with Cyrus deep in the crease. Where does he go now? Styris needs to keep hitting it for 6 because he's fighting a lone battle at the moment. Will he get away with it? No.
Oh, he'll consider himself a little bit unlucky there. Scott Styris had taken a short step across outside the off stump. Andrew Nell watching his feet. Got it wide. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Almost a good delivery. Who'd be a bowler?
Well, that's a beauty. Great comeback from Andre Nell. The eyes are getting wider.
He thought about saying something there, didn't he? The cogs were going in the brain, but nothing popped out. Such a wholehearted cricketer, Andre Nell. Great guy to have around in the dressing room. You can have him in your team every time.
Is he easy to captain?
Well, he'll bowl all day if you let him. You have to be reasonably firm when it comes to getting him off, getting the ball out of his hand. But yeah, he's, don't let the publicity and the Gunter stuff fool you. He's a terrific lad. Loves playing, loves the banter of the dressing room, loves winning.
Slower ball, heaved away by Phillips.
I'm starting to join your little club here, Wardy. I'm absolutely baffled as to why Phillips should have been promoted up the order. It's tail-end swiping, that's how I would describe it. Got 8 runs from 9 balls, when the Eagles require a rate of above 15 and over. It's not good enough.
Another beautiful Yorker from Andre Nell. Hit that for 6. Surrey's record against Essex in 2020 cricket is poor. They've only won once. And that was way back in 2003 at Imber Court. You remember that first year? Since then, it's all been about Essex. Their record at home is excellent. 30 games of 2020 here at the county ground. Essex have won 20 of them, but this year it's been a bit of a struggle. Losses to Glamorgan and Kent here on Sky Sports, and at the moment they're going down to Surrey.
Oh, another heave. And another single. 109 for 3.
Gone high and gone very, very long. Didn't quite get it out of the meat of the bat. 122 for 3, 16 gone. Just makes you wonder why Andrew Simons didn't try and keep the previous delivery to 1. He rather gave up the 2, allowed Styris back on strike to do this.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've been massively thrilled about that if I was Chris Schofield. Been a good over up until that point. 13 runs from the 16th over. Surrey well ahead on the worm at this point. Essex requiring exactly 16 and a half and over if they're going to overhaul it. And Tremlett has been brought back into the attack. He's bowling at Tim Phillips.
Ooh, is that all right? Square leg umpire says too high. You'll get a warning for that. Not a free hit, 'cause it's not a front foot no ball. Completely unintentional, looking for the full Yorker. But he can't bowl another one or he's out of there. Nailed one. And he's got a boundary.
There we go. That's why he's been sent out there. Give Tremlett some stick. I suppose if you keep swinging, you're bound to nail one at some point.
Nasser just popped out. Well, I didn't. Sprawling dive from Linley. Probably wouldn't have gone to the boundary, but more commitment from the Surrey Lions. Andre Nell has run 40 yards to just go and pat Tremlett on the back, and now he's back off to his fielding position. What was that all about? He said nothing. He just slapped him on the back, turned round. Now he's got to run all the way down to the boundary. Full toss again. Styris has managed to get this away to the fence, so Tremlett has not found his range with the Yorker.
See, I'd be inclined, if I was Chris Tremlett, to run up and bang it in halfway down the pitch. Big, tall guy. The light isn't terrific, even though we've got the full floodlights on. Still isn't pitch black, so the lights aren't under full effect, particularly when bowling at Phillips, and perhaps when Styris, I'd just let him have a bumper or two.
Another low fully, and this has been drilled away. Nothing Ram Prakash can do about that. The crowd are back.
Yeah, it's not good bowling. Not good bowling. Yeah, that height, you've got that pace. Tend to err on the shorter side if I was Chris Tremlett. Another full toss means another boundary. Styris is on fire.
Well, he's hit the pitch and he's gone big into the flats. That's a super swing over square leg from Scott Styris. His 5th 6.
Or it's a length ball. It's a length ball right in the slot. Scott Styris has absolutely melted this. And the Essex faithful are just starting to believe.
Another ball needed. They're going through the bag here this evening. His best is now 77 not out in this innings. He's going to need a few more if he's going to get his side across the line, and somebody up the other end has to help him. Phillips is 15 not out from 15 balls. Surely Styris can't do it all on his own. 21 from the first 5 deliveries of this comeback over from Tremlett. His personal figures are in tatters all of a sudden. Full toss again, he's gone big. A 6 finishes the over, 27 runs from it, 149 for 3. Essex need 39 from 3 overs.
Pulled away, the boundaries continue. It's raining boundaries at Chelmsford.
Nasser Hussain suddenly comes alive. As do the crowd. They absolutely love it here. They've been silent for much of this game. These last 2 overs, Scott Styris and now Tim Phillips. That's why he's been sent out.
This is the slower ball. Simon's bowling a lot of cutters. 13 off just the last 2 overs that Essex bowled. So if Essex can get close, the last over, try and chase down 10. They're right in this. Foster now looking nervous. He knows it's going to come down to him. Hit offside. Man tries to get round, does get round.
2 more. Tim Phillips now goes on to 21 from 18. Suddenly starting to help out Scott Styris.
Swing and a miss. Trying to target that leg side boundary. High score Essex have chased down on this ground is 178. So they'll have to break a record here. All eyes on Phillips. He can't waste any more deliveries. 2 dots in here. Cannot afford to waste a delivery with Styris at the other end on 83. Goes offside. Again gets under it. Man should cut it off. Does cut it off. 2 more.
Looks like we are in for a thrilling finish here under the lights at Chelmsford. Scott Styris will be saying to him, just make sure you get a bat on it. Doesn't matter if you get a single. We need runs off every ball. No dots.
Across his stumps. Swings to the leg side. Gets it high. Gets it away. Gets it for 6. Good end to the over, much needed for Essex. 25 needed from 2 overs.
Well, would you believe it? 2 overs ago, Essex looked miles away from winning this game. Scott Styris takes Tremlett for 27. Tim Phillips has now taken Simons for 14, and they are right back in this contest.
Left-hand, right-hand combination, always targeting the short boundary. I've counted about 8 Surrey players go up to Tremlett and pat him on the back. Number 9 sort of strolling over now. There's the curve. That's why it's changed, because of that over from Tremlett. 27 from it. And the captain has said, you can have another bowl. He's had plenty of advice. Let's see what he can deliver. So the equation, 25 from 12. Back of a length. Mark Butcher just whispering in my ear that maybe Phillips will have a similar length. You're not one for pitching it up to the left-handed tail-ender, are you?
No, I don't think so. If I was 6'8" and could bowl the ball at 87 miles an hour, I wouldn't be pitching too many up to anybody. But certainly got the long boundary now is Phillips' leg side.
Fine legs up, that's the problem. Won't be a wide, he backed away. Good umpiring decision.
Well, the crowd didn't like it. But a good call from Jeff Evans. James Foster, will he get the chance to come out and have a say and where the points are going in this South Group tie? Rory Hamilton-Brown just checking with the bowler as to whether or not he wants fine leg up or back. Tremlett said he wants him up still, so it's going to be a full one again.
Gets the single, so 2 good deliveries, a good over so far, just a leg by and a single from the first half of the over, but the danger man is back on strike. What would you want? Small ground, you're bowling the last over. What would you want to protect? Don't say 60.
If I was bowling, yeah. 74.
15 enough?
15, you've still got to think it's in your favour as the bowling side, haven't you?
And who is going to bowl that last over? That's the other question. Simons, has he got any left? Nell's got one left? No, we've just heard Nell's finished. Maybe Simons. Short ball, he was expecting it. Will Nell get there? Drops it, I think it's Simons. Would you believe it? The man you'd want under it, bucket hand Simons, has shelled it.
Unbelievable. It was the short ball from Tremlett. Catches high on the bat from Scott Styris. Andrew Simons underneath it, and you think as soon as you see it's his number, it's out. But the elbows hit the ground and the ball pops out. Tremlett cannot believe it.
Not a wide again, so a real good comeback this. Now a lot of the last few deliveries of the last few overs have gone for boundaries. Again, more advice. Nell's run up from fine leg. What could the loony possibly say to him?
I'll tell him you called him that.
I'll call him that this afternoon when I saw him.
Whilst running in the opposite direction.
Yes, quickly, for me. Right, good over so far. 22 from 7. Can he finish it off? Don't mind a single. Get Phillips on strike for the last over. Short, pulled, man in the deep, takes the catch. All eyes on whether they cross. That's the important thing. Scott Styris tried to stay at the right end. So a good comeback from Tremlett.
Well, he would have been worried at the start of this over, having gone for 27 of his previous one, but there it is. It was the short ball. Tim Phillips might consider himself a little bit unlucky that he picked out the one man back there. The safe hands of Stuart Waters. Tremlett passed the bottle test there. Over only going for the 3 runs, picking up the wicket of Phillips, who goes for 30 from 25 balls. Essex are 166 for 4.
The key point about the dismissal there was whether the batsman crossed. Scott Styris tried to hold his ground as long as possible so that he'd be on strike for this last over, and it will be Simons. He will be bowling to the person he's just dropped in the last over. Overseas pro to overseas pro. There'll only be one end to throw as well, with Styris and Foster in. Foster as quick as they come, Styris blowing.
Yeah, using all the experience here, Scott Styris, he's not going to be rushing to face up to this final over. Make sure he's got his thoughts clear. Idea in his head as to where he's going to try and hit the ball. Hamilton-Brown talking to Simons, just making sure that the communication is correct. So he knows what his bowler's thinking and can set the field accordingly. It's going to be a thriller.
It sure is. The one thing in Surrey's favour is the leg side where Styris favours. And you work this out when you start off. For all captains out there, you try and work out where your last over will be and hope the right-hander's in and they're hitting towards the longer boundary on the leg side. And that's exactly what Hamilton Brown's done. Short ball, fine legs up, good start. 4 runs.
Oh, it's an interesting choice of delivery with the fine leg up. Simon's not quick by any means. This one's short. And Scott Styris, whilst not timing it perfectly, perhaps it did surprise him a little bit, manages to get it up and over the short fine leg for a boundary and the perfect start.
How much will that drop catch hurt Simons? We're just about to find out. In the slot. Sounded like the maximum. Is the maximum.
Well, the roof's coming off here at Chelmsford, if there were one. What a strike, Scott Styris. That's the longest part of the ground, right in the corner, over deep mid-wicket. Absolutely magnificent strike. 10 from 2 balls.
12 needed from 4. Foster's got to come back for 2. They'll be throwing at Styris' end. Styris gets home.
Well, you're never going to run James Foster out at the bowler's end, Nasser. You're absolutely correct. He'd set off, he'd stolen so many yards, he was virtually turning before Scott Styris had got halfway. Ball needed to come to the keeper's end. Didn't come back there quick enough.
Hit leg side, there's a big gap there. Man tries to get round, can't. 6 from 2, 100 for Styris in just 49 deliveries.
What an innings this has been from Scott Styris. Absolutely sensational. He was playing a lone hand pretty much from the time that he came in. 100 from 49 balls. A terrific run chase. 16 from this over. Simon's dropped him in the previous one. He's now dishing out all kinds of treatment to the Australian. What a finish.
Still could go either way. One good ball either way, game over, really. You need one good ball. Simon Styris needs one good ball. He gets a good ball. He gets a magnificent ball. What a way to end it. What a comeback from Essex. Scotty Styris, would you believe it? Dropped in the last over, wins it for Essex.
Well, that is an absolutely magnificent innings from Scott Styris, worth absolutely every penny, the overseas player, and they are absolutely overjoyed here at Chelmsford. The home of cricket indeed, Nasser Hussain. Would you believe it? What an innings, what a finish.